The Western Bulldogs and Luke Beveridge are going to continue on. Already the longest-serving coach in the club's history. 2 more years have been added through to the end of 2027.
I'm extremely proud. I don't take lightly the responsibility of the position that I'm in, and I've never been more enthusiastic and excited by what we can do from here on in. We feel like we've established a degree of stability within the football club. Everyone who's worked with us and now in the new facility, and the health of the system and the health of the club, it gives us a bit of a warm and fuzzy feeling inside, and that's a good way to emotionally exist when you come into work. And the players, we believe, are feeling that way. And so as we move into the future, there's that sustainability piece of maintaining something but then building on it and growing and really pushing towards our next success.
Club and coach took time to contemplate what it looked like together, and I suspect what it looked like apart. And then once they got into the season, I reckon 2 things happened. 1, Luke Beveridge showed that he was reinventing. He was bringing the next iteration of the Bulldogs to life. And 2, he still had the group. Absolutely. And that's been the evidence of what we've seen on field. How do you read it?
We've lauded this process. I feel like we've been with it from the start of the year and commended them with the mature approach to it, where both coach and club sat back and said, no, now's not the time. And I love that approach. They weren't spooked by anyone, including the media, and they said, we'll do this at our own time. And until such time as they both arrived at the same conclusion, I think they held out. And I reckon that's fair enough too. But there was a period there of 3 or 4 weeks where I think Luke worked out that this is a job that he wanted to do. And then when one decides, the pressure's on the other. I don't know that to be a fact, but that's the way I'm reading it, that Luke's sort of, yeah, I'm all in. And then, are you coming with me? And they said, damn straight we are.
Yeah.
So we celebrate the 2-year extension, which puts him in rare air as a Western Bulldog all-time great premiership coach, of course. He has his own unique personality that I love. I've known him for a long, long time. His coaching, I think, is at the very, very sharpest of ends, and they are absolutely certain they got their right man.
I love it when he does this. The legacy piece is really significant. He's already the longest-serving coach in the history of the club. He's one of only 2 premiership coaches, and on he goes. Sometimes I think with our coaching positions, we're just too casual, and it's a global phenomenon to treat coaches as transient, to tip them out, to debate their futures. He is in a handful of the most significant figures in the history of that football club.
No question. Absolutely no question about that. And now he's got the chance to elevate himself even higher over the next couple of years if he was able to add to the premiership glory that he's had. So there's a challenge in amongst this too. It's not ridiculous. It's not 4 years. It's not 5 or 6. It's 2. So I think there's a general cautiousness about the way they went about it, the club, and I think from Luke as well. But they both concede, hey, we're going full bottle for another premiership in the next 2 years, and they think they can.
The counter-argument will be you should have run the distance and seen where it was going to be. They're currently 6-6 and they are outside the 8. Now, a little bit of that is circumstance, and they've had their 1 bad loss of the year. The rest of it, I think, has been perfectly fine. Is there any legitimacy to you should have seen it through, find out whether you're going to make top 4, find out whether you're going to win a final and actually improve year on year?
I think there is, the argument can be made, and I think that was the way that they were looking at it, and till such time as they both agreed that, yes, we want to go on. Now, if for whatever reason it was Luke that held out and said, no, we are at round 14, we've lost our last 2, I'm not sure, then I think they would have held off. But I think they arrived at the point, Gerard. Now, this will be judged in time, but they've arrived at the point, they've taken their time, and both coach and club have arrived at the same point. I think that's a great launching pad for the next couple of years.
And this is the launching pad. So they're 6-6. So at the start of the season, when you looked at their fixture, you would have gone just be 50-50 as you hit the second half of the season. Now, it's a little disappointing that they're 50-50 because of the footy that they have played, but there's no excuses not to get on and get moving now. And I don't know what the top 4 machinations are going to be, but they look like there are places up for grabs. So get on with it. The best footy we've seen from them has been somewhere around the best footy there is in the competition. So I'm full of optimism. I'm full of admiration for the way that they've gone about it. And sometimes sticking with your guy, it pushes against the modern fad to want something new, as I like this.
That's right. It flies in the face of those who think there's something better. When you think you've got something better in your hand, hold on to him. They were massive names out at the start of this season, and he coached well to get them and keep them close enough to wait for the cavalry to arrive. The last 2 losses have been disappointing. They've got a bloke called Darcy who's about to re-enter the fray. And you look at those 4 games, you look at who's coming back, then I think the Western Bulldogs fans should be excited about what's coming.
All right, the doors are about to open here, so we're going to see some action in the background.